All right.
Well,
we're back
hello
with another
there.
FM Rager.
How goes it?
Oh, my goodness. How is everybody? How are you, Ned?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Connor?
I'm doing all right. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I went over to Austin, Texas for my sister's graduation, a party on its own.
Ooh.
Yeah, how about you?
Didn't do much because you were out of town. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
No, I went to a few art gallery openings, and that was pretty fun.
That's a party.
Yeah, there was lots of free booze that I didn't drink because I had work.
Because I was on antibiotics.
Mm-hmm. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I got to see a lot of cool stuff and a lot of drool stuff. Like, ugh, I don't like this.
Oh, a lot of drool art.
Yeah.
Cass was talking about last time, people like the guy who plays It because he jingles and drools were the two things she described.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about that for a week now.
She had a very weird obsession with how...
She didn't so much as the internet has this obsession of jingles and drools.
That's right.
Which makes me think that, like... Santa Claus, maybe? I don't know. Like, that's another person who jingles. I don't know if he necessarily drools. Maybe when the cookies are out.
When he sees those cookies, like,
yummy.
Man, this is why I get up every morning. This is why I do this job. Yeah, Cass definitely had a weird obsession with Pennywise the Clown. No, she just had a weird obsession with the internet's obsession with Pennywise the Clown. I don't know. I didn't care for it. I don't like clowns.
So at these art openings you went to, or closings, I don't know what they were. You went to art shows. Were you partying hard? Were you going crazy? Or were other people partying hard? Did you see anyone really doing up that art show?
Not really.
Let me say this. At the graduation I went to, I saw some people doing it up. I saw people go walk across the stage and do a 1.5 minute dance to celebrate that they are graduating. Like, they were partying. They were raging, my friend.
Oh, my God. They did the whole kit and caboodle.
They had a
I've
thing.
been waiting 3 years to do this.
Yeah. I've been practicing these 6 steps for 3 years. Now, they had a thing there where it was when someone would walk across, and I thought this was just for the masters, but they had bachelors as well, going across the stage, that they would say, like, the next person is Ned Gale, and person would hand the person a card, and they'd be like, Ned Gale would like to thank. And it would say a couple things. So there was just like joke after joke after joke. People putting in some solid riffs and they have very try-hard riffs. Yeah.
Did your sister write anything?
No, my sister was pretty straightforward. She said, yeah, love God, love money. No, she... No, it was pretty standard, just like, thanks for my friends, thanks for my husband, blah, blah, blah. But some people, somebody said, it's Larry time, and we thought that was pretty funny. I think his name was Larry, but then the next person went up and also went, it's Larry time. And I was like, what was this Larry time? It never happened. There was no Larry time. But, for the listeners out there, if you celebrate Larry time, why don't you go ahead and call us in at 713-526-8737. We'd love to talk to you about Larry time.
That's right. One of the cool things about today is that we're really, really excited to take some calls, because we think that if you call in, you're going to have a really great time with our guest. I want to get to him right off the top.
Yeah, let's jump into it.
Everybody, please welcome our guest tonight. He is a fantastic comedian. He has hosted so many shows. You've seen him all over town. Please, everybody, give it up for Nick Merriweather. Hi.
Hello.
Oh.
What's up, Nick? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Okay.
I'm enjoying being here at the mandatory station ID, KPF Houston 90.1 FM HD2.
Oh, we got to say it at least once an hour. Thanks for pointing that out, Nicky. All right, Nick, some things about you. You co-host a really incredible show called Hot Takes. Can you tell us a little bit about what Hot Takes is?
Yeah, Hot Takes is a monthly stand-up comedy show hosted by myself and my good friend and roommate, Jafar Khan.
Who lives with their good friend and does a show with them? Disgusting. So you do that over the secret group once a month?
The secret group, yep, once a month. We do not have the June date yet, but it's coming soon. Mm-hmm. But basically, we challenge our comedian friends. We give them 3 topics a month, and they are to come up with a brand new set about those 3 topics.
3 topics, and then there's one other topic that gets thrown in there.
Yeah, they have to pull from a hat.
during their set. That's my favorite part of the entire show, is because some people will pull that. So they're going on these riffs they don't know about, or they've just prepared like the week before.
Yeah.
And halfway through the set, or some people at the beginning, some people at the end will have to pull this card and be like, all right, bakeries, and then they just have to like go on bakeries, and it's really fun to see how people deal with that.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows. It's because Jaffer and I also write a good 10 minutes of new material for the show too. But one of my favorite parts is just the nervous pacing before the show.
Oh, yeah.
Just a parade of word souls. But it legitimately is one of my favorite shows. It's so unique and weird and fresh, and it's also pay what you want, so it can be free.
Yeah, and it's over in the black box of the Secret Group, so a real small room, meaning it feels real big. Like I like that the response is like feels loud and big. So those comedians, where they maybe were stomping in the cement outside, like I'm gonna screw up. Like once they get in there, people support them enough to where they like really put on a good show.
Yeah, I've been so phenomenally proud of everybody on that show. It's been great.
That's amazing. So what can you tell us, like, what was the conversation that got you and Jaffer, getting the ball rolling on
living together? No.
So Jaffer is a fantastic stand-up comedian. I anticipate very big things for him, but he had never, in his entire stand-up career, had never produced a show. And so it was me saying, hey, you should produce a show and see how much non-fun it can be. And he's like, no, I'll never do that. And then we just started.
Okay.
I don't blame him.
Can we say that it is so tough to produce a show, but I also think everyone should try it once, whether it goes well or bad. Everyone should have that experience, because it is so much more than you think it's going to be.
Yes, and it gives you so much experience talking to show promoters. Like you can tell who has produced a show or producers rather than promoters.
Yeah,
you can tell who's done it before and who hasn't. But anyway. It just came from that conversation, and then me personally feeling stagnant in my writing, and anytime I have a prompt to write towards, I feel like it gives me the smallest, gentlest container to come up with something. And so we're joking around about doing that show. Originally it was going to be all pull from a hat, all riffing. Well, maybe we can make it writing. And then once we had the name, he was like, all right, let's do it. And now he's about to move away.
Oh. Where's he moving to?
To the Big Apple.
Ooh.
City, America.
Oh.
Is
Biggieapolis.
Is Hot Take going to find a way to continue on in the city without Jaffer, or would it not be the same?
I don't know, but while he's in town, come on down. See him while you can. He's fantastic. We haven't discussed it fully. We're not ready to reveal it. How about that?
Well, Jaffer, if you're listening, call in at 713-526-8737, and maybe we could settle this right here and now.
Give us the scoop. Let us know what's going on with the show. Let us be the first people to announce what's happening with Hot Take. Just call in at
Please let us.
526-8737. We'll take your calls. We'll get Nick to give you some advice on love, living, and laughing.
I would love to give advice. Please call me. I'm unqualified in every way.
All right, again, please call Nick at 713-526-8737.
The radio call has to be at the top of every hour, and the phone number has to be at the top of every minute.
Yes, we have to get people to call us. All right, so let's go ahead and move into what this show is really about. Partying.
Aw, yeah.
All right, Nikki, you got to tell us about some cool parties that you've gone to. Or
first off, how do you like to party? What's your ideal party?
Oh, man. The older I get, the number of people at the party gets smaller and smaller.
The word party stays the same, and everything else changes.
Doing comedy, I'm around a lot of drinking and a lively atmosphere constantly. So my favorite parties now are, I like playing games with my friend, like Quiplash a lot.
Quiplash is the best. If you ever want to lose, you can play any of us.
Yeah. It's a really boring answer, but I find that the all my friends who are in entertainment in any way, like their parties, as they get older, get a little tamer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't go to parties as often anymore. Like every once in a while I'll see a house party and be like, check please. And then I sign the check and I say, yes, I would love to attend. But for the most part, like doing shows is kind of my party. Like my friends who don't perform as much are like, you don't really come out as much. It's like, oh, I do go out. It's just to shows I do. And then I party afterwards or before?
Yeah, it really
on stage.
Yeah.
Well, it naturally turns into your friends or people that you met at the show, hanging out, drinking. It's very similar to a party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you hang out with all these people and you still play games, do you still get the feelings of connection that you would find when you meet people at parties? Like, do you meet people playing these games?
Oh man, that's another thing. I don't want to meet anyone anymore.
You've hit your capacity.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. If you guys know Nick, go ahead and call in. If you don't know Nick, do not pick up the phone. Do not dial 713-526-8737.
Don't do that to him. So, can you tell us anything about like any partying before gaming? You don't have to get too raunchy about it, but you know what this show's about. I'm gonna keep needling you.
It's the gaming part of that question that is throwing me off.
Well, what was the wildest party you went to in your heyday? You went to art school. Surely you saw some stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Spill the S, my guy.
Does S stand for secret?
I was about to censor it.
Yeah, at art school, I feel like is, and college in general, I feel like is about figuring out what is okay to do and what you want to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're the same thing. But yeah, I lived in a house that was very, very formative, let's say, and it was a house full of very bright college kids who enjoyed partying in a psychedelic way.
Okay, so parties of the mind for sure.
I feel like everyone in
read
college
books.
had that one house they like ended up in, and that's like your formative house, whether it be an apartment, a house, or a box, or a van. Like you spend a year just like exploring.
Did you have a name for the house?
We did.
Yeah.
It was called the S Box, because I can't say the actual name.
Secret box, guys. Check it out.
Box, yes.
That's what the box at Secret Group was named after. No.
All right, so you had this.
Wait, did you have a house that had a name on it?
Oh yeah.
What was it called?
The Compound.
The Compound.
My dad came up with it because he thought it looked like an S hole and he
secret hole.
Yeah, he said. The only secret that this neighborhood doesn't know is like, never mind. Anyway, so yeah, the house looked like really bad, and it had this really rickety fence, and it was huge. But my dad just called it the Compound after the David Koresh people.
The branch.
I've heard the Bunker was another one, which I saw another one called the Bunker. I thought that was a fun name. Bo, my old roommate at our old house, tried to call our place the Den of Kings, and he would always tag that, and I hated that, so I always tagged it as
Den of Kings.
I always tagged it as Giggle Dungeon, which I'm sure people next door who like try to tag something, that tag would come up, and they're like, "What the heck?"
I would
what
love
is next
to party at the
door?
Giggle Dungeon.
Yeah,
The
who
Den of
doesn't?
Kings is like, I gotta get out of here.
Giggle Dungeon was really cool until I saw that documentary Tickled, and then I was like, no. Have you guys seen Tickled?
I have seen
Y'all
Tickled.
check out
It's on
Tickled.
my list.
If you have seen Tickled, go ahead and call us in at 713-526-8737, y'all.
Let us know what you think about the movie Tickled. Here's something about Tickled. I came up with the segment for the show tonight. It's called Tickled or Pickled. It doesn't have any rules yet, but I do have the name.
Yeah, Tickled
so
or
you
Pickled.
like playing games. Why don't we come up with the...
Let's invent the game right now. Yeah.
All right. Tickled or Pickled?
Mm-hmm. My first thought is that you get a mystery foot wheeled in from under a blanket, and you have to decide if you touch it, if the person's going to giggle and laugh, or if they're a cadaver.
Whoa.
Oh, because they've been pickled. Like, in, yeah.
What if they're not a ticklish person?
Bonus round.
Well, that game makes you a sick old person, because you'd be sick to roll a cadaver into a party like that. That's what I think.
Oh, I thought you were saying like sickled, like
Farmer?
grim visitor of the specter of death.
All right, why don't you tell us some more about
It's like fun games.
Let me just say, I love fun games.
Can you tell us any more about the secret house that you grew up in
Oh,
college?
the secret house.
Yeah, how many feet were there?
The S box. It was a great place. It was artists and musicians, and there was literally artwork and writing on everything. I was reminded, as you guys were saying other names, that I had friends who lived at a place called Toe Work,
Oh,
It was.
I hate that.
Well, it was their phone number.
more cool. More
yeah, yeah.
That was back in the days of landlines.
What was the area code? 713?
713.
713
represent
covert.
Houston proud.
So okay, so you're still changing the subject. We know about we know about secret box, but what went down in the secret box?
Well, lots of partying, lots of secrets. No, it was a lot of, like I said, very bright kids who were feeling pretty aimless, figuring out who they were.
Yeah,
And also chemists and what's the statute of limitations?
Did the cops ever come to the?
They did, but only to say, "Hey guys, be quiet."
Yeah.
But it was the entire first floor of a house, and the two people who lived below were also very like party-minded, very open-minded.
Oh, I'd imagine if it survived that long. We had the cops called to the Giggle Dungeon one time. It's because Bob Morrissey was singing Thunder Road too loud. We were doing karaoke at the house.
I remember that party.
Yeah.
That was a great party.
Yeah.
I also sang Power of Love at that party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good party. We can't talk about that party.
Oh, no, I'd like to press you on this, Connor.
This is my show. Why don't you...
Welcome back to our show, Under the Bus, where...
You need to get off my secret, buddy, all right? This is my show.
Hey, do you think Connor is tickled or pickled right now?
Oh!
He's putting a pickle about this party.
One thing I've noticed... All right, we'll move into something a little less controversial. One thing I've noticed about partying with you over the years is that when we tried to get food delivered or food ordered, you were vegetarian for a really long time. And that...
Vegan even.
Yes, you were vegan for a bit, and you had this whole year-long ban from Taco Bell, so we couldn't go to Taco Bell. And
Well,
then
you could go. I never stopped anyone from going to Taco Bell.
I mean,
you
what's
know,
the fun?
Yeah, if we're getting food delivered, and you're like, I can't go. Like,
That was because I had a serious Taco Bell addiction. I was eating Taco Bell probably 4 to 5 days a week. Yeah, because it was affordable and so tasty.
So you had a
Yeah.
toilet paper addiction, too.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was like, I wonder if I can just go 1 year without doing it. And I did.
And on January 1st, about 10 a.m., we jumped in the car.
The
And
three of us went to Taco
Yeah.
Bell, and we ordered...
Nick ordered this fantastic spread. It seemed like one of every menu item. And then Connor and I ordered our exact normal menu item, which was about one of every menu item.
yeah.
Probably the same spread. Yeah.
We all spent about the same amount of money, $10.
Yeah.
If you shop at Taco Bell, shop at Taco Bell.
Shopping at Taco
If you're shopping at Taco
I'm just
Bell.
window shopping.
I heard there were naked chalupa.
Ooh. But so...
It's a place in France. Yeah.
God. Anyway, about Taco Bell. So we ate this big Taco Bell feast, and then your diet changed again to something that allows you to eat meat. And
Yeah, as is
know it-
required of all comedians in Houston, you're on the keto diet now.
Yeah.
How many comics are on that diet? And you don't have to spill names or anything, but I was just surprised by the number of people.
The hardcore group that I started with was about 6 or 7 people.
6 or 7. Yeah, that's a lot of people. But that's good. That's a good support net of
Yeah.
people checking in
Well,
on each other.
And I knew it worked. Our friend of ours lost 100 pounds in like 6 months.
Man.
Yeah. And that sounds dangerously fast. Maybe it was like a year. I don't remember. But yeah. It was this is maybe a less of a light story than you were hoping for.
Well, I guess the transit mayors shouldn't ask for the details. What we're more going into is now you can eat freaking wings with us, my guy.
we introduced you, Ned and I,
Yeah.
to your first buffalo wing.
It was very exciting to take you to get wings.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about on the radio show before. We're not introducing anything new here. Wings are the party food, in our opinion. I don't know. Do you think that's the party food? What is your ideal party food?
I think pizza is the classic party food.
Pizza's good.
Pizza's
too.
pretty good. You don't have to wipe your hands. I like wings because they're commitment. You are locked into the party.
That's a
seatbelt has gone down on the roller coaster.
That's a feast food.
I just think it's fun. Like, we can throw a movie on. Pizza, I have found, at least because I'm a notorious picky eater, that I'm just like, pepperoni or no ronies, and I just don't want pizza. I can be a bit of a stick in the mud about pizza, admittedly, but wings, hey, just throw hot. You know, everyone can agree on
just
it, man.
throw hot.
Throw hot in, man. I mean, you can get lemon pepper as well, but you know, wings are more accessible.
I'm not picky as long as it's hot or lemon pepper.
As long as it's hot or there's no sauce and I can just drool on it.
Can I just have a thing of blue cheese, please? That's all I really want, and some bones.
Let's get a Ziploc bag of oil too.
But now you're a wingman. Do you remember getting your first wing with us?
I sure do.
It was a rainy
I would name
day.
the restaurant if I thought that were allowed.
You can.
Oh wow! It was called Connor's Wing Hut, something like that.
Hey, if you want to get reservations at Connor's Wing Hut, just call me right now at 713-526-8737. I'll get you and a loved one a table for two.
The restaurant was called Tickled or Pickled, and it was how the chicken was prepared.
I do both.
All right, so we went to a Wingstop, and you got some wings. I believe you got like a Cajun or a lemon pepper. I don't remember. What'd you get?
I'll have to ask. I'll have to consult your diary.
Yeah, let's see. See how many minutes we can burn on what sauces Nick got.
So which one did you get?
So anyways.
I don't remember.
Oh, God, what a letdown.
Oh, I didn't know this was the
If you
highlight
remember
of
the first wing
what you
that
wanted
Nick
to talk
ate,
about.
please call us.
Why don't you just lick the bottom of your shirt? It's probably still there.
I don't remember. I'm thinking now because it was a big deal for me.
I think we gave.
switching to eating.
I think
meat.
you went one wet, one dry rub, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like that's what we would have pushed you to do because that's the right way to go.
Yeah.
We probably
Remember
went, and he was like,
too.
I'll only eat fries. And then eventually he's like, no, I'll try some.
But yeah, I remember it being like I used to hate eating anything off the bone. I still kind of do. I still kind of dislike it. But I had to dive in to this new meat-based lifestyle.
Wait, has there been any food that's been like a weird transition going into the meat space?
I still don't like eating meat that much, but it was just the most. I have an enlarged spleen. That's some party talk for you guys. And I needed to. I needed to change my diet for health reasons. I could no longer be a vegetarian that ate mostly corn and chips. But yeah, I still. I don't know. I don't like eating meat off the bone.
Yeah.
It's,
How's it been? You eat cheese now too,
yeah,
right?
I eat a
How's
lot.
that?
It's a staple of my diet.
Cheese is tight.
Yeah,
It's
this
so
is good, man.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love Swiss cheese. It's my new thing.
That's good.
For aerodynamic reasons, or what is it?
Yeah. Not just good. It's a good cheese.
I like those little mozzarella balls that are in the tub of water.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mozzarella, I think it's called.
Yeah.
It's really
In the
good.
tub.
My favorite is the cheese wheels that come with wax. And you make a little guy with the wax, and you push it with your hand, and you're like, I am
You
powerful.
need to smell that wax and it smells like
Yeah.
cheese.
Or your hand,
I've been
depending
getting
on
into
when you
Gouda
smell it.
lately.
Gouda?
Gouda's pretty good.
Yeah.
I dig that.
You could say it's very the besta.
Yep, you got it. All right, I just want to steer back to wings real quick here. Because when
For
we
the love of
recorded-
God, anyone call in at 713-526-8737 and
payoff.
change the subject.
There's a payoff for that. I'll change the subject right now. We got wings when we recorded the pilot of the show.
Oh, yes, sure.
Yes, and we had a really good time. We ate, we drank, we were merry, and we recorded a very interesting radio play. That, I threw together, and Nick and Ned helped punch up, and we all recorded it in one go. It was very, very fun. We played it on the first episode of Effin Rager, but unfortunately that audio is lost. Now we can record and have archives of the show, so I wanted to play it really quick, and then we could just talk about it afterwards, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty. And this is Gusty Hardwell, everyone. Hope you enjoy.
My name is Augustine Hardwell. Agent Augustine Hardwell. Or Agent Hardwell. Or Gusty, if you know me. I'm a secret agent employed by a top secret agency that is so top secret, you're already on a top secret kill list just for listening to this. The spy industry is so chock full of backstabbing, betrayal, and leaking of secrets that the only way I can protect myself is to painstakingly document each case I take. This is one of those cases. It was a normal day like any other. I was sitting in my office chair with my foot in my lap. I was trying to clip my toenails at an angle so they would pop off my toes and land in the trash can. So far, the score was 3-8. I was losing. Suddenly, the phone rang. I stumbled over myself to get the phone, and the chair fell out from under me. Brushing the toenail clippings from my hair, I ran to pick it up. The familiar voice of the chief rang out on the other side.
Agent Hardwell, you've been given a new assignment. You're to leave immediately for Robichaux Estates in southwest Louisiana. A wealthy and politically influential family is in danger of being infiltrated by a Russian sleeper agent. Your task is to pose as a southern businessman with money to spend. Gain the trust of the family while working to locate the sleeper agent. Once he's been identified, eliminate him. Your plane leaves at 0600 hours, and all the information you need will be provided to you once you're on board. Good luck.
Hey, thanks. Bye. I love you. The chief hung up so quickly that he must not have heard me. It's okay, I know he loves me, or he wouldn't send me on so many missions. I placed the receiver back on the phone and got into bed. Then got out of bed. Then put on my pajamas and got back into bed. I was so excited I could barely sleep. Wow, Louisiana, the Pelican State, Creole country. I had heard so many stories about the swampland, but I had never actually been. I watched the HBO hit series Treme several times over and didn't even skip through the boring parts. So, yeah, you could say I'm a fan of the culture. I couldn't wait to wake up and fly out to the land of craw daddies and jazz laddies. Phew. 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 Well, I got onto the plane on time, but I received very upsetting surprise. I was not going to New Orleans. Instead, I was going to a small town closer to the Texas border named Lake Vidion. I looked them up on the internet, and they don't even have a jazz scene. I spent the entirety of the plane ride reading up on my mission and listening to the Treme soundtrack. My mission seemed easy enough. I was going to be posing as a wealthy businessman named Barry Bontemps Boudin. I was to approach the patriarch of Robichaux family, William Robichaux, with a lucrative business proposition that had a catch. I would cut them a large deal if I was to be betrothed to one of his daughters. I didn't know what betrothed meant, but I figured I could find out when I arrived. Finally, the plane landed, and I was off to the Robichaux Estates, where I was greeted by a large older gentleman in a white wrinkly suit. I would later find out that it was a fancy seersucker, they called it, but in that moment, he was the only sucker I saw. I flashed him a gentlemanly smile. It was time to see if all my hours of practicing my Cajun accent had finally paid off. Hello there, Mr. Robichaux. My name is Barry Bontemps Boudin. I understand you have been expecting me.
Of course. Welcome to Robichaux Estates, Mr. Bontemps Boudin. This large building behind me is the main estate. We have a room prepared for you. Over yonder on the eastern side of the land are the workers' quarters, where all of our workers spend their time. And to the west, we have the Good Time Arcade, where all of our workers spend their quarters. You should stop by if you get a spare moment and enjoy some vintage video games, such as Gator Joust, Po Man, Ms. Po Man, and Donkey Kong Jr.
I have to say, Mr. Robichaux, you have a very impressive estate. Now, I must ask, do you know where I could find some jazz performances?
No, we don't listen to that kind of music here in the swamp. All we have is Zydeco.
Oh, well, that's fine, I guess. You know, Zydeco is cool. It's like polka and mariachi had a baby and inherited all the bad traits.
Well, I certainly hope your taste in my daughters is better than your taste in music, Mr. Boudin. I would like to introduce you to my three lovely daughters. First, there is Violet.
Charmed to meet you. I'm Violet, the pretty one.
And this right here, this little firecracker is Adelaide.
Enchanté. I'm Adelaide, the talented one.
And last but not least is my long-lost daughter who, up until a week ago, I didn't even realize existed. Olga. Hello, I am Olga, the new one. It is nice to meet such a handsome man from this region of these United States. If you stick around, I would be so happy to make you some gumbo with a little lanyap extra.
In that moment, I understood that there was something very different about Olga. She was the most beautiful woman this schmuck had ever seen.
Will Agent Hardwell be able to resist the allure of Olga Robichaux? Will the sleeper agent reveal himself? Will Lake Videon ever develop a jazz scene? All this and more on the next episode of The Cases of Augustine Hardwell, titled Swamp Secrets. All right.
Thrilling, chilling, and I'm ready to listen to more if you're willing.
Yeah,
guess that rhymes.
That'd be awesome. So, Nick, we wrote that, and you really helped punch up a lot of really great stuff in it.
And it was so fun to record. I feel like we were all getting like really into that traditional radio play.
What's really insane, you mentioned the traditional radio play. Like, it was really awesome to record and edit everything, but what's crazy is that they used to have to do these live.
Yeah.
And they just have a sound effects machine or somebody just doing live sound effects. I don't know.
That dude from Police Academy.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Winslow something?
Carl Winslow? No, he was a cop on Family Matters.
I'm pretty sure it's Carl Winslow. I think it's Michael Winslow.
Yeah, Michael.
Pretty sure.
Over under, wins high, wins low. Yeah.
Well, speaking of, we got a fan submission.
Yeah, some fan, since we did play this on our first episode, actually made a script for a second episode. So we're going to go ahead and do that live right now.
Wow.
Yeah, we haven't seen it before. We're really excited. So,
yeah, I guess let's just jump into it. The Adventures of Dusty Hardwell 2.
Okay. We don't have any theme music. Nick, do you mind
can you do
doing
the theme music for us?
Sure. It was Michael Winslow, not Carl Winslow. Now for the thrilling adventures of Dusty Hardwell.
I had been on the trail of the Russian sleeper agent for a couple days now. I wasn't making any progress. It was probably because I kept getting distracted by all of Mr. Robichaux's beautiful daughters. There was Violet, the pretty one, Adelaide, the talented one, and Olga. Oh, sweet Olga, my love, my flame, how I long to hear your beautiful voice. My heart aches for the chance to feel your sweet embrace. I'm pulling my hair out and begging the fates themselves for an opportunity to kiss your comely face and feel your rugged jawline on my lips. Anyways, I was having trouble deciding which one of them I liked the most. Well, liked enough to get betrothed to. Whatever that word means. Oh boy, I really hope betrothed isn't some college word for murder. I was sitting on the front porch of the Robichaux Estates when who should walk up but Violet, the pretty one.
My, oh my, is that Mr. Bon Tom's boudin that I spy with my Cajun eye? Father has left for the city, and I assumed you had gone with him.
No, I'm still here. Say, I was wondering about Olga.
Oh, I know nothing about her. She showed up a couple weeks ago saying she was Father's illegitimate daughter that he sired on one of his many business trips. Father always had such a trusting nature. That's probably why he prays instead of using prophylactics.
Interesting. She's just so... interesting. Whereabouts does she stay on these estates?
Oh, she's on the far end of the eastern side of the estate, past the bridge.
She pointed to a path on the horizon. I could see a bridge. I thanked her for the information and started walking. It wasn't too long before I bumped into another of Mr. Robichaux's daughters, Adelaide, the talented one.
Why, as I live and breathe, if it isn't Mr. Bon Tom's boudin, how are you faring in this sweltering, swampy sunlight on this Acadian afternoon?
Oh, I'm doing quite all right. I was just on my way to pay a visit to Olga and...
Oh, isn't she interesting? She just popped up out of nowhere one day and said Father was her papa.
Yes, it's quite curious. I should probably be on my way to go talk to her.
Oh, Mr. Bon Tom's boudin, did I mention that I was the talented one? I've been in several performances in the local theatre house. I even played the lead, Molly Tapper, in the Dapper Rapper Slapper Snapper. Would you like to hear a monologue?
No, that's okay. I'm more of a song and dance man.
Oh, then you'll love this performance from when I played the Mayor General in Pirates of Penzance.
Well, okay, but could you sing it fast? I've got things to do.
Not only am I going to sing it fast, I'll sing it with 0 errors. In fact, I'm such a fast flip-flapper, you'll flip if I flub. I am the very model of a major modern general of information, vegetable, animal,
Yes,
mineral, and all the
faster.
kings of England. And I quote my historical from
Wonderful. Faster, I say.
I am very acquainted with matters mathematical. I understand equations, but they're simple and quadratical. About my no material, I'm teeming with a lot of news. With many
She just
cheerful
kept singing
facts
and singing
about
this
the
crazy
square of the
song and
hypotenuse.
started to get really into it. So I slowly continued walking down the path to Olga's. Eventually, I came to the bridge and crossed it. It was then I noticed a cabin that had a huge sign on it that read, "Olga sleeps here." As I approached, I began to hear some strange sounds. Then I heard a voice that sounded like Olga's, but it wasn't speaking English. A shiver went up my spine. That was Russian. That meant the sleeper agent likely had broken into Olga's cabin, and she was likely under duress. I grabbed my secret gun that I had hidden in my pants and didn't mention until now so I could get the drop on everyone, including you, the listeners. Hey! Anyway, I grabbed my gun and kicked down the door. What I saw was unbelievable. Olga was sitting at a desk, wearing headphones and shaving her face. In front of her was no small amount of communications equipment. For a moment, I was shocked, until I worked up the nerve to say, "Olga, what is all this?"
I am, how you'll say, ham radio enthusiast.
Wow, what a woman!
Will Agent Hardwell be able to find out who was speaking Russian? Will Olga show him why ham radio is still cool no matter what the teens are saying? All this and more on the thrilling conclusion of The Cases of Augustine Hardwell, Swamp Secrets.
And scene. Why didn't you
say and scene?
Why didn't you end scene with us?
Oh, the person who gave the script did not write and scene.
Interesting.
All right.
Okay, well, that's just kind of how plays work.
I think that went great. I think that went
That
like
was pretty good.
gangbusters.
I mean, Nick flubbed a couple times during that fast part. I guess we can't all be performers.
Wow, man. But you did great, and whoever sent in that fan script, awesome. You did great.
Yeah, thank you so much. In fact, wonderfully written.
Yeah, I know. I loved it. And one of the reasons why I loved writing these things with you, Nick, is that you are incredibly talented at coming up and defining these really rich, very funny characters. And I've seen you do things from Karen, the host of Books Worth a Look. I've seen you do the goofy clown chef. And my personal favorite, I just call him Nick Scaryweather. What is the name for your haunted Halloween hosting?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay. Hey.
The Duke of Spook himself.
Yes, the Duke of Spook himself.
Duke of Spook.
Yes, I love watching you do all these things. What kind of characters do you latch onto? Because they all seem to have an air of innocence and just like goofiness to them.
Yeah, I think that is that's something I really enjoy. Is someone. My favorite comic archetype of all time is the confident idiot.
Yeah.
But I love watching that. I like David Brent or Michael Scott or Michael Stipe even. Apologies to Mr. Stipe. But I like the confident idiot, but I also like the confident sweet idiot. I think that is so... It's just something I'm very drawn to personally, and something I enjoy. I enjoy being in that headspace.
Yeah.
That's why I like Buster and Arrested Development the most. He's such a sweetheart, dum-dum.
Do you have a favorite character you've played over the times? We a lot of character work in Micro Satan. I feel like there's some good ones to pull from in there.
I really like the Halloween show. So every Halloween, it's basically a party, but it's a comedy show, and I invite a lot of my favorite performers to perform stand-up as whatever they're dressed as. So I really like hosting that. I host it like an old horror host, and what I like so much about that is I'm completely free to pretty much do anything I want, and I just love Halloween. I love dressing up. I'm very drawn to that.
I love that character because he talks so slowly that there's so much time, like you're forcing the audience to just like get ready for a punchline, and it's so exhilarating. Just be like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, and we did it with a live band. My boy Ned was a musical mummy. That was really fun. Just getting to sing songs.
Who'd have thunk?
Yeah.
And what's that show called?
It's called Spooky Stand Up.
Yeah.
So, every year I think I'm going to come up with a better title, and every year
it's going to be Spooky Stand Up. Yeah. But I love that show. I love seeing character stuff like that. I love character stand up. That was like my first try at stand up, was doing character stuff, because it allows you to, it puts you in a box kind of. I think that you can just like kind of make a bunch of rules for yourself, and it's like you don't even necessarily have to write jokes as much as you just like draw this caricature of a character and keep spreading it further and further until the audience is like fully on board with who this thing is. Yeah,
I think so much of stand up is providing context. Like and you know, most it's you have your setup and your punchline, but most of the setup is providing the context so that when you get to the punchline, you can subvert the context that you've just set up. And I feel like with a character, you can do so much more. You can go really far out with the character context. I mean, not that you can't with stand up, but with character, the audience is like, oh, this guy's a hot dog. He's so you automatically have this weird shared context that you can do as many mustard puns as you can.
My favorite of that Halloween show, I love like an intricate character. I love something that has like a bunch of loops and rounds around it, and it's so fun to watch it evolve on stage. But I also love like just straightforward. Zach Brooks did The Sun last year. I lost my mind. Like,
that's so funny.
So what about you, Ned? I've seen you play a lot of different characters. What's your favorite one to play?
Favorite character to play? I did a pickup artist for a while. That was like one of the few repeat characters I did. I don't feel as comfortable doing that character anymore. But that was a fun one to do because while I'm like a meeker, shruggy kind of guy, it was fun to just like straighten up the back and be like, "What's up, dogs?" Character's name Anomaly.
Anomaly. That's right. Like, was it Mystery?
AKA Anom. And it was just
I think my favorite character I've seen you perform, and this was in partnership with old Clint Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
And he drew pictures, and these pictures were of animals that should not and could not exist, and you were the zookeeper describing all of them.
Yeah, and he had come on the original Mike Satan talk show as a guest, like the animal handler, but he didn't have any animals with him. So he just showed pictures of animals and described them, and they were all so weird. Clint is insane at drawing, and just drew the...
Clint is one of my favorite creative people I've ever met.
Clint Cooper, you should check him out. I don't know, what is it, Fart Jr.? Is that what he goes by?
Yeah, his Tumblr is so...
But now, another character that I've seen the two of y'all do, and this was my first exposure to your comedy, Nick, was when you guys came on to a Good Evening show as game show producers.
Experts, yeah.
Game show experts. And you guys had a game show, what was it, just challenges? Can you take me through this bit?
Yeah,
so first off, Nick just had two of the same jacket, and that's why this worked.
It was just a strange bit that's going to play really well over the radio. And it was that I just needed an audience because I was testing out a new game show concept. And in order to save time, I wanted to test both the American version and the British version at the same time.
So the British version was taking a single egg and a spoon across the stage.
And that was hosted by one of us. I can't remember who.
Yeah.
So, and then
the American version.
Well, you had to take an egg in a teaspoon across the stage and deposit it in a teacup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And as I put the egg in this cup and you hold up a mug, easy. It's a little bigger than an egg. Shouldn't be too hard of a target. No. The American version was bringing, I think, like 12 eggs in a shovel and then putting it into the same cup.
Yeah. It was inside of a big trash can. we gave we put tarps down and we gave the audience all trash bags.
Yeah, before we had described it, we're like, all right, this is going to be the splash zone. Like, really setting people up for a mess. But we hard-boiled all the eggs beforehand.
Yeah.
So instead of it making a big mess, they were all just rotten and smelled terrible.
Yeah. I was going to say it became an impromptu Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
Go ahead and be a pessimist.
Well, I loved seeing that, and that ended up spawning this whole other show that you guys did, Nick and Ned Neck and Neck.
Yeah,
And this is a little bit like Hot Takes, because you would have guests come on and they would have to create game shows, and you were the contestants, correct?
So that spawned out of a show that I love doing called Choke, which was a comedy game show that I hosted with Brian Ziola, and we would bring in contestants and they would compete in these games that we devised for them.
What kind of games were there? They were super fun.
It was a lot of, like, we would do Roast a Ghost, which they had to write roast jokes for a dead celebrity. We would do kind of like what you guys just did to me, where we made each contestant write a one-page essay that was...
Whoa, that was a fan submission.
Yeah, once again, fan
what the
submission.
fans just did to me. And they had to write a one-page paper that another contestant would read, and they would win if that contestant laughed while they
that's so fun.
Or we just do weird trivia games, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end, it was very difficult picking a winner because everybody did so well, and that really wasn't the spirit of it in general. So we came up with this other idea, Nick and Ned, Neck and Neck, where Ned and I would be competing.
Yeah,
so,
as the hosts, we were the ones competing, and the contestants were the ones hosting individual game shows that we'd compete on.
Mm-hmm. And so they would come up with the game. It solved a lot of problems. It was really fun. We were able to weave in a narrative, and we had our boy...
That was the first time we really got Cody performing with us, and Cody knocked it all the way out of the park.
Gosh,
Knocked it all the way to Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we took that show on the road. It was fantastic.
And I'm proud to say that show is the reason why he got his current job.
That is how he became a teacher. They said, teach us good.
He owes it all to Nick. Now, you have this... what is it, a production company, I suppose you would call it?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to think about it. It's basically, I enjoy putting on these multi-character shows. Like the Halloween show is really where it started, but we have a lot of ideas in the works, and I teamed up with Gabe Bravo, and recently we made a show that is the completely unauthorized roast of Harry Potter. You may know Harry Potter from his books about wizardry and witchcraft.
From such movies as Harry Potter and books as Harry Potter. That show... insane amount of people coming out to that, getting excited about that. The reaction was great.
So, not to peek too past the fourth curtain, but Connor and Ned are both on that show. That's how they know me. But it's fantastic. We sold the first two out. I'm very excited. We're bringing it back. Can I plug it?
Yeah, you can plug whatever you want, man.
All right. June 2nd at The Secret Group, we have two shows. Go to the Secret Group website, which is thesecretgrouphtx.com. We'd love to see you there. If you like Harry Potter at all, even if you don't like Harry Potter and you just like...
Yeah, I was gonna say, the jokes are so accessible that I think you can be a big fan, and there's small stuff in there for you that's fantastic, but you can be a casual fan and it's still a laugh riot, if I will.
Yeah,
and I will.
I love it. It's over an hour of just solid jokes. If you like the Comedy Central roast, if you like roast in general, it is 18 and up. There's a lot of naughty words. Here's a list of them.
And they go as such.
Alphabetically.
Do you have any other character roasts coming up? Anything cool?
Nothing on the books as of yet. Once we finish Harry Potter, we will start our next one. I don't want to announce anything too soon.
Yeah. Any hints you can give, or things that have been thrown around so far?
I will.
Can you give us rejected ideas?
Rejected ideas, yes. The roast of local supermarkets.
Oh, man.
It was going to be cool. I was going to be Kroger. I was excited.
Hair up, HEB. Because I don't know if you guys know, but B in HEB actually stands for blasphemy. And there's so much to be said about that right now.
I thought it was bountiful savings.
Hey everyone, bountiful savings. That's the HE.
Oh man. Yeah.
Any other rejected ones?
I mean, none that are funny.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
The roast of the Globetrotters.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah.
well. So these are people emulating people within a franchise.
Yeah.
What is the name of your production company, if I may ask?
It is called Character Menu.
Character Menu.
Yeah, and it's just if you see that on something, it just means that I am at the helm, and it's all people that I love and trust, and I hope you will too.
Oh, thank you for trusting us.
So beyond Character Roast, do you have any other projects that you've been wanting to do or tinkering around with?
I mean, I'm very excited about summer. I'm a teacher, and I'm like 2 weeks away. I'm about to
Ooh, baby.
Effin Rage.
What are your summer plans?
My summer plans, we're going to go to Austin.
And just get there?
No, do some shows up there. If you're listening in Austin.
Some are.
Yeah.
Travis Reyes listens to the show.
Hey, what's up,
Oh,
TR?
yeah.
Come check us out. Me and Joffer will be at Chortle Portal in 3 weeks.
Ooh.
Very cool.
Just doing stand-up?
Just doing stand-up, yep. I've taken a break from these big projects until school's over. I want to take just some time off and chill out for a minute, and then... so unfortunately not the most glamorous, exciting plug.
Have you thought about doing hot takes with Austin comedians?
We have, yeah.
That'd be such a fun show to either take on the road or get people to come into Houston for that.
Yeah, that's kind of it's still a baby. We just finished our third show. But yeah, I would love to do that. There's so many great shows with Austin comics. I mean, there's a show called Bad Idea. That's fantastic. On Fridays. So I'd like to piggyback onto that, but as of now, I mean, for the comic's sake too, it's really great if a comic can come to town and get on several shows rather than just
absolutely
doing one.
Why I love working with you is that you see the same way that we see, is that like comedy shows, stand-up is fun, seeing improv is fun, seeing sketch is fun, but finding a way to make it something different, finding a way to stretch what comedy could be, because comedy could be anything as long as we're laughing.
Yeah.
Bullying.
Well,
that's
see you guys. Yeah, it really came out of my mouth. But do you have any like I guess like comedy dreams of like what would like a dream show you could put together? Like, would you want to do another game show? Would you want to?
My dream comedy gig is to write roast jokes or be on the roasts. I just love it. I'm not a very mean-spirited person in person, but I love being fake mean.
Bullying.
Yeah. I like picking on those smaller and weaker than me.
Yeah, now we're
It's
talking.
just something satisfying. No.
Oh, man. This
Absolutely not. And Effin Rager does not condone. Yeah,
this is no
any
place for
bullying.
hate. We don't have any bullying.
But if you do have some hate, you can call it. No.
Yeah,
don't call it.
We only have about 4 minutes left of the show, so if you've got anything you want to say or ask of Nick, please give us a call at 713-526-8737.
That's 713.
We could just see if someone's on the line. Anyone? Hello? Anyone? Nobody's there.
Dead air.
You can call 713-JAM-TRACE. 713-JAM-TRACE.
3 jams. That's what it means.
So how many jams do you have in your house?
What?
The phone number says HD3, but we're in the HD2 studio.
Yeah, let's not get too crazy here.
Yeah,
This is HD2.
yeah.
We run HD3 every once in a while, but the show has to go twice as fast, and we just don't have the
And
longest
by
for it.
we run HD3, I mean we run HD3.
H-Town.
Yeah, we're the HD3 boys, all right? You know, there's 2 of us, yes, but, you know, we're so tough that you think, like, oh, there were so many of them. Yeah, you know.
So which one of us do you think you could take in a fight?
Wow, this really did devolve into bully chat.
This is the part of the Rager where it gets dark.
Yeah, this is the end of the
rage
Rager. This is how
part.
every party ends, baby.
One of us is going to the hospital.
Blacked out in a closet.
And the other one is driving.
Hoping the lit
I
candles
hope you guys
burn
drive
out on
stick
their
shift.
own. I have a story about my friend's wedding.
Okay,
that
Please.
involves,
Your best friend's wedding?
who told you?
Let's hear it.
My best friend's wedding planner. A buddy of mine got married out in the country, this really beautiful house. And my buddy gave out whiskey to everybody. And they had a four-wheeler and a golf cart.
Mercy.
Now, one of those is built for going over bumps and lumps. One of those is meant for going over gulfs. So these guys got in these are all like, my friend is a fantastic painter. These are all art people, painters. Anyway, so they're all in a golf cart, and one of them goes over a lump and a bump and smashes his head wide open on the front of the golf cart. Now, we're in the middle of nowhere. So we had to decide who was the least drunk and then drive to the hospital, which was like 45 minutes away.
Oh, man.
So I got to spend a good chunk of that trip just hanging out in the waiting room. He was fine. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
That's good. How was the golf cart?
Golf cart was fine.
Wow.
Man,
Okay, let's
durable
give it up for the
little
golf
carts.
cart,
I told
guys.
you we got to get rid of our
Yeah,
cars.
you got a brand name on that?
I think it was Connie's Carts.
Connie's
I'm everywhere. That's guerrilla marketing. All right, everybody. That's our show for tonight. Nick, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Everything that I've said in this past hour, I take everything back.
All right. Ned, do you have anything you'd like to talk about, shout out?
Cannes Film Festival at Station Theater is coming up. It's around there, you know.
Okay.
Just, you know.
Hey,
Effin
we're not
Rager.
telling anybody what to do,
Yeah.
but it's next.
I would
coming
like
up,
to tell
yeah.
people to go to the
No,
Harry
no.
Potter roast on June 2nd at the
Yes.
Secret Group. I would like to tell everybody, hey, I don't know, if you're hanging out near PJ's bar, why don't you go upstairs every once in a while? Who knows what you'll find up there.
Second Tuesday of the month sounds like a good
Second
time.
Tuesday of the month, I hear they have fun stuff.
Oh, hey, if you're listening right now, why don't you come meet us at PJ's on the second Tuesday of the month? I think that's going to be June 12th.
Yep, 612.
All right.
I'll be there. Come say hi. Call in
Awesome.
in person.
All right, everyone. That's our show. Thanks for listening. Bye.